Hi, friends. This is 5 Minutes to Make Sense of the Bible. I'm Joe Hopkins. Today we focus on the book of Acts, chapter 17, verses 16 to 31. This is a story about the missionary Paul preaching in the ancient Greek city of Athens. Let's jump into the context and content of this story and see what we can learn about engagement between people of different religions. Paul was an early convert to the Jesus movement, what we call Christianity today, after spending some time as basically a religious policeman. He had a vision of the risen Christ on his way to arrest followers of Jesus, a vision that literally knocked him to the ground. And then the same followers of Jesus whom Paul was going to arrest took care of Paul in the days following his vision, and Paul became one of the boldest missionaries, evangelists, and church planters of the first generation of the church. Paul was in the middle of one of his missionary journeys when he found himself in Athens, Greece. The city of Athens was known as an intellectual capital of the Roman Empire, something like a university town, and many different religious thinkers and philosophers hung out there. Paul couldn't help but tell all these Athenian intellectuals about Jesus, and the Athenians were so fascinated by Paul's teachings that they brought him to the Areopagus, which is also sometimes called Mars Hill. The Areopagus was the historic site of the governing council of Athens. And by Roman times, the Areopagus could mean either the physical site or the local government. Kind of like how Queen's Park can either mean an actual park in Toronto or the Ontario provincial government. The book of Acts isn't clear about which sense readers should understand Areopagus in this story, but the important thing is that the Athenians brought Paul the missionary someplace quite prominent in order to listen to him. Paul took the opportunity to make some observations about the various deities and religious traditions that the Athenians honored. He saw a statue to an unknown god, which could also be translated the God of the unknown, and he interpreted this god to be the God of the Jewish people and the creator of all peoples. Paul then shifts to talking about Jesus Christ, whom Paul calls a man God had appointed, and whom God raised from the dead. I don't think it's quite the way that I would engage people of different religions today, but I think we should pay attention to the respect that Paul and the Athenians show one another in this story. I hope that gets you thinking. And here are some questions to get you to think more. First, when you imagine ancient Greece, what comes to your mind? More specifically, what Greek gods and philosophers do you remember? Next, what stories about Paul do you remember? What other parts of the Bible can you think of that are connected to, or even written by, Paul? Finally, how do you feel about the interaction between the Athenians and Paul? When have you seen people of different religions engage each other? So there, 5 minutes to make sense of the Bible. I'm preaching a sermon based on Acts chapter 17 at Streetsville United Church. So check out our YouTube channel for a recording of our worship services. And as you read the Bible by yourself, pay attention to what piques your curiosity. The Spirit often tries to catch our attention through our curiosity. And as always, while it's good to read the Bible by ourselves, we make the most sense of the Bible when we read the Bible together. Peace, friends.